So today's topic is again, we're in that kind of lifestyle category. And I know yesterday, you talked about things you might want to give up, things you might want to automate, and things you might want to delegate, things you might want to start. So it's good that we all have those kind of ideas in our head. Maybe we've all got a couple of things. It can be something as simple as I want to stop drinking alcohol during the week, or I want to stop stopping at the garage on the way home from work and getting a chocolate bar, whatever it is. Can be something very simple. Can be something bigger, like I want to give up smoking. Taylor, I know that's one of your goals for this year, which is a fairly major thing, right? There are things in our lives that we can admit we are addicted to. We've been doing them for a long time. They're really hard to give up. And you're going to try and come up with some strategies to do that. And what I wanted to talk about today was finding a way out versus finding a way in. And let me give you an example that I often come up against. I've been doing a lot of running lately. I know some of you guys in this thread run, and some of you will be familiar with the term first mile lies. Has anybody heard that term before? So during a run, in your first mile, you'll come up against this voice in your head that's like, you don't feel good. Shouldn't do this today. You should probably turn back. And you can do that on the first mile because it's easy to just turn around and go back, right? Um, and you just fight that voice for the first mile. It's like, nope, nope, nope. I'm gonna keep going. Once you get past that first mile, you start to convince yourself, okay, I can do this. I can keep going. I can get past once I get past the first mile, I can do 5 miles, I can do 6 miles, I can do 7 miles. But that first mile is the mile that tries to break you and tries to tell you this isn't going to happen today. You should probably turn back. Um, so there's a voice that wants you to pull out, and there's a voice that wants you to get in. The voice that wants you to get in is the voice that says, "Keep going, just beat this, just get through this first mile. Then you'll know. Then you'll know you're in. Then you'll convince yourself you're the kind of person that finishes." So that's what I want to kind of talk about today. Those two voices. One voice wants us to stay in the game, and one voice wants us to pull out of the game. And I've coached many people over the years, and I've always come up against this. A lot of people are that just whatever, maybe it's their upbringing, their experiences, what they that's something they've been through, but they've kind of told themselves they're the person that always gives up, and it's almost like a self-sabotage kind of thing. It's like they'll get so far, but they've convinced themselves, I know at a certain point I'm gonna fail. And we can think about this in terms of gym memberships, right? This is the classic thing. Uh, Everybody joins a gym in January. They're like, this is it. I'm in. I'm definitely gonna go. Then by March, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna cancel my membership because they just can't see it through. There's a million excuses, right? It's like, oh, it didn't work for me. It's like, what doesn't work for you? You're telling me that fitness doesn't work for you? That moving your body and doing strength training and doing cardiovascular work, that's something we all should be doing. Saying that it doesn't work for you is a fallacy. You're just lying to yourself. It's just an excuse. And of course, there are many examples of this. So, I always say to people, often for a lot of us, it's very good to work out first thing in the morning, because first thing in the morning, there are just less excuses to get out of it. So we just wake up, we put our gear on, we get to the gym. A lot of people I found over the years, and of course, this isn't everybody, and some people have to train later in the day, but let's say you've committed to training at 6 p.m. You get up in the morning, you go to work. There are a million things that could happen throughout that day that will give you a reason not to go to the gym, whether it's something to do with your kids, something to do with a friend that needs help with something, something to do with there's a television show that you really want to watch. Um, Maybe I don't feel 100% today, so maybe I'm just gonna like not go. All of these voices, all of these forces come into our lives to stop us from going. And really it comes down to a question of priorities. Like what's our real priority right now? If we are saying this year that we are committing to our health and our fitness, then we are making that a priority, and we are not going to let other things interfere with that. If we let everything interfere with that, you didn't really want it enough. Like it wasn't really a priority. You pretended it was a priority, but it wasn't really a priority. So that's something we just have to be, honest with ourselves about. And it takes a lot of work. I listened to a great podcast recently with a guy called Jelly Roll. I don't know if you know Jelly Roll, but he's a country singer. The guy was 500 pounds. He was basically at death's door. Was told by many people, like, if you don't do something right now, this is going to end badly for you. And he tried many times to lose the weight, but he always knew. Every time he told his family, he told his friends, I'm going to change, I'm going to do this, I'm going to lose the weight, I'm going to start taking care of myself. Even though he was saying those words, in the back of his mind, he knew that he didn't really mean it. He knew he was going to fail because he had failed so many times before. He had told his body, and his brain was just programmed to be the person that fails because, again, we react to our experiences. We have positioned ourselves based on all the actions that have come before. And if all the actions that have come before have told us that story about ourselves, then that's what we're going to believe. This is what I believe about myself. So how do we fix that, right? How do we become the other person? How do we become the person that doesn't give up, that always sees things through? And the only way to do it, and I know we've spoken about this before, is to start to build those habits, to start to build those healthy habits, stack those healthy habits, build them up, build up that sense of belief in yourself so that you then understand, oh no, I'm not the person that stops at mile one. I'm the person that understands there's going to be challenges in mile one, but I'm going to get to mile five. I'm going to get to mile six because I always finish the job. And once we can get into that mindset, then our chance of winning becomes a lot more likely. And we, along that journey, along that way, we become the kind of person that we want to be. None of us want to be the person that always gives up. None of us want to be the person that fails. Imagine like getting to the end of your life on your deathbed and you're like, yeah, I wish I'd have like not been the person that always failed. Like that's not a good position to be in. We want to be the kind of people that said, I worked at things. It was hard, but I got through it and I did this challenge and I finished it. I built that. I started building this thing and I finished it. I said I was going to do that job, and I finished that job. That's who we really want to be, and it's this amazing sense of achievement when we really decide to do something, see it through, analyze it at the end. I'm like, man, that was great. I really did that. I'm sure you've all had that in your lives. Something as simple, maybe Taylor, like a piece of artwork that you had in your brain. It was a vision. It wasn't on the canvas yet, and then that vision became a reality. And then once it was a reality, there's this sense of accomplishment. And like, I did that. And some things come to us easy and some things come to us very hard. Like not everything is as simple as just like making the decision that I'm talking about. Things have to be worked at. And we need to come up with strategies. Sometimes it's accountability buddies, something like that, something that's going to like build up that commitment, build up that belief. It's we need help. This is why you guys are here. Um, Not everything is going to be something we're going to be able to do on our own. So whether it's me as a coach or whether it's an accountability at the gym, it's like, let's meet at 6. If you agree to meet me there, I'll meet you there. It's that kind of thing. All these little things that we can bring in as allies in our quest to become the kind of person that I want to be. So I kind of wanted to ask you guys this question. Is there anything right now, based on kind of like yesterday's thinking, that you want to give up? You've tried to give up so many times, but you've always failed. And now you've kind of got in your mindset like, I just think I'm going to fail. Does anybody have anything like that that they're trying to overcome right now? You can be completely honest. Like this is a trust tree right here.
Yeah, it's we all know I banged it like a dead horse, the smoking.
Right. Right.
It's the same thing. Like I had my last cigarette yesterday. I don't have any cigarettes right now. And I'm already thinking, God, just go buy a pack. You could just have one today. But that I won't
Right.
just have one today,
Yes. Yes.
so I
Yeah.
don't really know what to do.
Well, for me, your belief I mean, just so you guys know, everyone in the thread, Taylor has gone over through an amazing transformation in the last couple of years. And you are the person, whether you know it right now or not, you are the person that sees things through. You are the person that changes when they really want to change.
Can you guys
And
hear him? Mm.
I feel like the smoking thing is almost this last thing that your body is holding on to of your old self, you know,
Yeah.
because you've been through such a reform and such a transformation. I think it's almost clinging to the smoking thing is like this is the this is the last thread of your old self that it's just kind of clinging onto. So we just have to find a way, and I think a lot of it's just going to kind of come from a collective belief of like, oh no, this isn't the Taylor of 5 years ago. This is the Taylor of 2025, and this is a different guy. And
Yeah.
this guy, this guy can do it. And I know you can. And I'm going to be with you on this journey because I'm every time you come to the gym and I can smell smoke, I'm going to slap you in the face. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, good.
I'm not going to do that. But I think I think getting it in your head that this is something you are 100% capable of, and it's just I think your body's just holding on as a key to the past, a key to the person
Yeah.
that it wants to. It's like an old skin that you're trying to shed. It wants to shed it, and it's
Mhm.
shed most of it, and it's just got one last piece to shed, and this is the one last
For
piece.
sure.
But I'm 100%
Yeah.
100% confident that you can do it this year, and also I think of smoking in the same way that I think of like bad foods. Ultimately, because you are so performance orientated right now, and you're so, you always come to me and be like, I lost a little bit of muscle. What should I do? How do I get better at running? How do I get better at this? How do I get better at that? Like a lot of those things are because you're in a performance mindset and you are on this quest to be better. And in that quest, I think giving up smoking will just be like, yeah, of course I need to give up smoking. It's a no brainer. Like if I want a better lung capacity, what could be better than giving up smoking? Like it's just all it's doing is holding me back, making me feel like shit, disappointing, like constantly like it's letting myself down. I don't want to feel like that
Suppressing my
anymore.
appetite.
Suppressing
Yeah.
your appetite, and you need to eat more. Yes, there are so many negative things attached to it that are so far away from the person that you want to be. Like at a certain point,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this doesn't make any sense anymore. You know, like if
Yeah.
someone told you, if someone said to you, Taylor, if you don't stop smoking right now, you will have a heart attack next week. Like it's going to happen. If
Mhm.
someone told you that, you'd be like, shit, I'm going to give up. But because
Yeah.
it's like this ongoing thing. It's like I'm going to give it up sometime. Like I know it's bad for me, but sometime it's going to happen. You have to just make that sometime now. It's like this is the day. This is it. And just
Yeah.
draw a line under it. Now I know like I'm simplifying addiction and it's not that easy and it's a lot of work. But I do think just having that clear vision of yourself as someone who succeeds at what they set out to do is going to massively help with giving up
Yeah.
because I'm so proud of you. Everyone is so proud of you. Everybody's seen the change, and we know that you are 100% capable of doing this. So
For sure. Me too.
just believe that. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks, Pete.
Anybody else got anything that's a thorn in their side here?
I talked to Emily about this yesterday, and it's less of a tangible thing. I'm giving up being intimidated at the gym. Like I just,
Yes,
and that's purely from like a place of ego where I'm like, I don't want to be the guy lifting like the small weights, but I'm just getting into like lifting, and I'm just like, okay, I have to be done with that. I have to like
you
not
have to be.
like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get there. I'll have my little 10-pound plates. Like who cares? Like just
Who cares? Who cares? Yeah, and all of these things are just kind of like in our imagination. Like, oh, I've got the smaller weights. Everyone's looking at me. Nobody cares. Like I have this right now. I'm learning Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Um, and it's very humbling. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are very good, and I'm not good. So it's very, very humbling. And I've been physical my whole life, and I boxed for a number of years and so forth. So it's something that I feel like it should be like in my wheelhouse. But it's a learning process, and we all have to start somewhere. I have the same thing with horse riding. My horse riding coach, she is a competitive cow reiner, very, very talented. She's 21 years old. I'm 47 years old. She's amazing. I am terrible. And I have to humble myself that this 21-year-old girl can do everything that I can't do and is telling me that I'm not good enough, that I need to work. Like, I need to, like, you know, be more assertive, be more confident. Like, you have to command the horse. You can't let the horse command you. All these kind of things. And it's very, very humbling, obviously. But I'm just at the point in my life where I'm like, I'm willing to be humbled. Like, I don't care. Like, it's all growth, right? That's the great thing about it. It's like we find something we're not confident at, we're not good at, we hammer away at it until we become good at it, And then again, it's the same thing of like we have this amazing sense of accomplishment. So I 100% know where you come from, Yori. Like it's a very common thing with the gym, the gym intimidation thing. You know, and no matter we've tried over the years, you know, so many different things to try and you know, lower the barrier to entry when it comes to that. But again, it's one of those things. It's easier said than done, especially if it's something you know you didn't necessarily grow up with. Maybe you weren't an athlete growing up. Maybe you didn't do sports growing up, and now it's kind of this. It's become this thing, like this kind of locked door that you can't quite open. And again, only experience will cure that. I always say in the end, you know, we can read all the books, we can speak to all the people, we can get all the advice. The only thing that makes a difference in the end is doing the thing, is taking the action, is opening the door and stepping in. Experience is the only thing that gives us the real confidence. Um, you know, I think there's so much information out there right now. It's so easy to go down rabbit holes and gather, you know, keep gathering information. Oh, I just need more information. I just need to understand why. I just need to just do the thing, get in there, do the thing, and that just builds the confidence as you go.